Hello, Damien here from Cloud Technology Experts. In this video, I'm going to walk you through how to use Helm step by step. So again, the project page is right here. If you come here to the website of Cloud Technology Experts, you see the blog called Kubernetes GitOps with Flux. And we have the plan over here. And today, we're basically going to look at understand Helm charts. So that is what we're going to do for today. So we're going to start from here. So what is Helm? Helm is a package manager for Kubernetes. If you have used Ubuntu before, you may have used apt or apt-get. And if you have used Fedora or Red Hat before, you may have used yum. Now, these applications, yum and apt-get, makes life easier when you're managing applications on these Linux platforms. It's the same thing with Kubernetes. Remember, Kubernetes is now the OS of the cloud, which means we need to be able to manage applications in a seamless and easy way. So Helm came to our rescue. And actually, there are a couple of ways you can manage applications in Kubernetes. For example, in the earlier section, I showed you how to use YAML files, raw YAML files. And when you have a lot of YAML files to manage, then Customize comes really handy, and Customize was the utility we talked about in the last video. So Customize is one way with raw YAML files. Another way is to use something called Kubernetes operators. Kubernetes operators are actually very powerful, but you use them mostly for stateful applications. Stateful applications like databases where you need to maintain some state of the data. And also, operators are very helpful because they kind of transfer the human knowledge into the application itself. So with that, you have some intelligence into how you manage your applications. I'll talk about operators in another video. For this video, the third option, Helm, is what we're going to be talking about in this video. So let's get down to it. This video is divided into two major parts. Part 1, we're going to learn how to use Helm, and in Part 2, we're going to learn how to convert our application into a Helm chart. For the first part on how to use Helm, the process is quite straightforward, and these steps are documented here for you. The first thing you do if you want to use Helm to install an application is to make sure that the repository where your application is contained is actually added to your Helm installation. Once you do that, you can try to update your repo, and then after that, you can go ahead and install your application. So in this example, I'm going to try to install Nginx. And to do that, I'm going to use one or two repos just to show you an example of how to install an application from a Helm repository. So I'm going to go to my shell and show you how to do that. So here's my Kubernetes cluster. If I do kubectl get nodes, I have here a 3-node cluster which I've been using for this particular set of videos. So now we need to install Helm. And of course, I already have Helm installed, as this is part of what I did in the preparatory part of these videos. So when I call Helm, I see all the options on how to use Helm. So let's do Helm repo list to show me all my repositories. It's currently saying that I have this repository here installed, which is Nginx. I actually installed this myself. So I can do Helm repo update. And now it gave me all this information. It says update complete, happy helming. So pretty much we're good to go. So if I want to install an application like Nginx, it makes sense for me to search if this application is actually in the repository. So I did helm search repo Nginx, and it gave me the list of all the available Nginx applications in this repository. Now, if I look at their descriptions here, I can decide to go ahead and install any of them that I want to install. The actual Nginx application is not here, but if I want to install any of these, the process is the same. So let's try to install this one here. I can do now Helm When I run that, it is saying that I have to specify a name or generate a name. So let me just generate a name. I'm going to copy that and paste it there. And it said the Nginx ingress controller has been installed. So how do I see my application? I can do helm list. Helm list shows that this has been deployed. So now I can go to my Kubernetes and do kubectl get pods. And I see that my ingress controller is actually deployed. Very good. So you see how we went from making sure that the repo is available. Then from there, we search for the application we'd like to install. Then we pick one of them and install it. So those are the steps. Let's repeat this step with another repository. So I have the repositories here configured. Here's one repo from Bitnami. Bitnami is a very popular repo. So I'm going to say helm repo add Bitnami and give the URL. And now it says Bitnami has been added to your repository. So let's do helm repo list. Now we got Bitnami here installed or configured. Let me just do helm repo update to make sure everything is good. And after that, it says update complete, happy helming. Now I want to install Nginx. Again, I can do helm search repo Nginx. Now it's telling me all the available Nginx that are available in my repositories. It tells me the name of the repository, and then it tells me the name of the application. So the first couple of searches here are from Bitnami, and the rest of them are from Nginx table. So let me install this one here. Copy that and do helm install. Again, let's do generate name. And now it said it's been installed. It gave me all these details here. And now I can do helm list. And it tells me that I have this Nginx deployed. And then I go back to my Kubernetes and go do kubectl get pods. And I have my Nginx here deployed, which has been running for the past 24 seconds. Let me say kubectl get deploy, and I have my deployments objects also deployed. Very good. So let me show you one other example on how to add a repo and how to install application, and we're done with this. So here I'm going to add this repository from Azure. So copy and paste. And it says Azure Marketplace repo has been added. So helm repo list. Again, it shows me that my Azure Marketplace repo is here. Let's do helm repo update. And all is good. Update complete. Happy helming. So let's search again for Nginx. Search repo Nginx. Now I see a couple from Azure Marketplace, a couple from Bitnami as usual, and a couple from Nginx table because I have three repositories. So if I do helm repo list, I see all the repositories there, and each one of them contains Nginx. So again, let me go ahead and install this one here. And I can do helm install -- generate name. I like to generate name. If you want, you can give it a name. And again, it looks like it's a success. It gave us all the details of this application we just installed. And now I can again do helm list, and I have my Nginx deployed. Make that larger. I have that deployed. And if I do kubectl get parts, I have this one here that has been deployed for the past 26 seconds. So you can see that I have been able to install Nginx just by using Helm. In this way, I don't have to manually manage my YAML files. If I had my YAML files, for example, the usual process is to, of course, do kubectl create -f and give it a file name. Helm makes it possible for me to package my YAML files into a convenient format. And of course, I can also share these charts with my friends. When you create a Helm format for your application, it's called a Helm chart. When I search for any of these applications, pretty much I'm looking for the Helm charts coming from all these different repositories that I have installed. Okay, pretty much that is part 1 of this video. In part 2, we're going to learn how to create our own package or charts. To do that, again, all of the steps are documented here for you. And pretty much we're getting to this step here. So let's get started with part 2. Okay, so I'm right now in this directory here that I call Helm. So I created Helm, and then I created this folder called Secure Website, which has my YAML files. So if I say ls secure website, I see my 2 files that I need for deploying my LMS application called Educate. LMS deploy and LMS service file. Then I created this other folder here called Secure Website Charts, just to use it to create my own Helm chart. So with that, the command I copied was this: helm create secure website. If I do that right now, it's going to create another folder, and that folder is going to contain every information I need to create a chart. So let me just change the name here to Secure Website Test and enter. Okay, it said creating secure website test. So let's check that. This is the folder that just got created. So if I do 3 secure website test, it shows me the format or the structure of this file. So pretty much that single command I ran has created for me a whole directory with all the files that I need to create my chart, my Helm charts. It started here with chart.html. I don't have to touch that file, but if I want, I can use it to customize my information for this particular chart. For example, if you do a cat on secure website and you do chart, you see it contains this information here that I can modify if I want to modify for my application. But what is really important to me is to go to Secure Website Test and go into the template folder. And in this template folder, it already created for me a deployment file and a service file. These are the 2 files that I need for this particular application because those are the files that I have created already. So ideally, I should just copy my deployment file and my service file and replace the one that was auto-generated for me. But will it work that way? Not that straightforward, because the format of this, if I open this one here, if I open this file, you see the format and the syntax is different from how my file looks. See, it's included all these macros in this file. And so the next question is, how do I convert my own YAML files into the format that was generated for me? Now, to answer that question, you need to study this file and then determine how to convert your own YAML files into this. But I want an easy life, And so I searched for a tool that can help me make that conversion automatically for me. And so I found a tool, and that is the tool we're going to use. That tool is called Helmify. So pretty much it's all here. Helmify. So for you to use Helmify, you need to first of all install it. And I already have it installed here on my system, but if you don't have it, you have to install it. If you're using Mac, it's pretty easy to do. All right, so now everything has been done. So now if I go back, now that I have it installed, I can now use this Linux utility called awk, which is also available in Mac, and I can use it and tell the system where my YAML files are, redirect it to Helmify, and Helmify will help me create another directory structure for my chat. And once I do this, I'm pretty much ready to go. So I don't have to manually convert my YAML files. Helmify will help me do it. And that is what we're going to do right now. So I'm just going to copy this command, awk commands. If you're not familiar with awk, you need to be familiar with Linux, but just copy and paste if you're just doing the lab. And afterwards, you can go study awk. So I'm going to copy that and paste here. And all I need here is that in secure website, I already have all my YAML files. That is why I put star.yaml. And I'm going to Helmify, and I'm going to create another directory structure. And in this directory structure, I'm just going to call it chat. I believe I already have this directory, but otherwise it's going to help me create it. So basically, I am passing awk with all this information, and I'm saying, go to this directory, find all my YAML files, send them to Helmify, and Helmify will help me create a chat based on those files in this directory. Okay, so now I have my files here, so now I can run that command here. Again, I'm saying, go to this directory here called secure website, which is this one here, pick out the YAML files from there, and then create a Helm chat in this directory here called secure website chats, which again is the directory here that I already pre-created. Even if I don't create this directory, it will help me create it before creating the directory structure. So let's run this command. And it looks like it's a success. It did not complain. So let's see what is inside this directory. cd secure website chats. And look at that. He already created the chat.yaml for me. He created the templates, and he created the values. So if I go into templates, I see my original file is here. And my service file is here as well. So if I open deployment.yaml, my original YAML file has been converted into the form that Helm will understand. So look at, I already have my labels, educate, I already have my port, I already have all my labels, and all those have been taken care of for me. Likewise, if I open up the service file, everything has been converted to me with the format that Helm is going to understand. So you see, I don't have to manually convert those files. Makes my life easier when I use Helmify. Okay, very good. Now I created my Helm chat for my application, which is the secure website. How do I test if this is working? Well, I can try to install it. So let me do Helm install, and the name of my chat is this. And I'm going to say again, generate name. Okay, so where we run this command matters. So right now, this is where our Helm chat has been created. So for me to install the Helm chat from here, I can do Helm install, and I can say secure website chats, and I can say generate name. Okay, very good. So it says that my application has been deployed. So again, if I do helm list, I should see that my secure website has been deployed. And that's it here. My secure website has been deployed. This one here has been deployed. Again, kubectl get pods. See that now I also have my secure website deployed and running 33 seconds ago. It's created 2 replicas because my original deployment had 2 replicas. That is this one here. If I say cat secure website lms deploy, you see I have 2 replicas here. So that is why it created these 2 replicas. And if I say kubectl get deploy, it shows me that my deployment secure website actually has 2 replicas running. Very good. So you see I have been able to create my own chart, and then I have been able to install my own chart. Next, normally I can share this chart with a lot of people. I can put it in some repository, and anybody that wants to use this helm chart can use it from there. They just have to make sure they install the repository, or at least they add the repository to their helm installation. Then from there, they can go ahead and install this application, which is what we did in the first part of this tutorial. All right, very good. So I've shown you how to use Helm. I've showed you 2 parts. First is how to use it to install applications. And secondly, I showed you how to create your own Helm charts. And from there, and from your Helm chart to install your applications. So this concludes this part of Helm chart video, and I hope to see you in the next video. Thank you for watching, and make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Thank you.